sausage in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainer, driving left side, is Boyer, picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of B.J. Bradford up the floor to Jack Ostrider. Watch out! Nafisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good!
It's on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Folks, good morning to this tremendous Tuesday. 1040 O Street. We got my man Nick and Nick on the mic. Nick is in Ann Arbor. Nick is well from Pius X, is on the ones and twos. Swim, how you doing, my man?
Good morning, AD. It's good to see that you made it back from Orlando safely. I had quite the adventure getting up here, but we got it in here last night, and we're ready to go.
Swim, tell us about, I'll get into Orlando in a second as we're wrapping, but man, your trip was an adventure. Talk to us, man.
Yeah, it's been kind of a crazy couple of days. I was telling a story about just how I was stranded in Dallas on Sunday afternoon early on yesterday's show with Jay, but to yesterday flew out of Lincoln, and huge thanks to our friends at the Lincoln Airport because they have been phenomenal for us throughout, as we are going to have them be the official travel partner of our upcoming Nebraska road basketball games. But it was crazy because the flight from Chicago to Lincoln got delayed a couple of minutes because of some computer issues, is what they were calling it. And so that flight got delayed. And because of that, it wasn't delayed by too much. It was delayed by maybe an hour or so. But because of that, no fault of the Lincoln Airport, I got out of Lincoln a little bit late, and I ended up missing my connection from Chicago to Detroit. And so United Airlines was like, hey, we'll obviously put you on a new flight and stuff. But the problem was that the only two available flights that had seats on it from Chicago to Detroit today were at 1 p.m. and at 4 p.m. Well, obviously, the game starts at 7 p.m. And so I was looking around for other airlines, and I found one as I was landing at O'Hare. The only other airline that actually had available flights was Delta. And so I ended up, while I was sitting on the tarmac and taxiing to the gate at O'Hare, just like literally 30 seconds after I landed in Chicago, I ended up buying the flight to Detroit through Delta because it was supposed to leave at 7:30, and I landed in Chicago at like 6:05, and my connection flight originally left at 5:59. So I mean, we missed it by 10, 15 minutes or so. And I ended up going over to the Delta gate to just make sure that everything was all good. I had to change terminals. And O'Hare, and those that are familiar, I had to go from Terminal 2 to Terminal 5. And so I had a little bit of a train ride and stuff. But so I go over to Terminal 5, and I talk to the Delta gate agent, and I make sure that everything's good to go for the flight that's about to leave at 7:30. And I walk over, and he goes, I'm going to be honest with you. You don't want to fly on this one. We're having computer and mechanical issues, and this plane's not leaving tonight. And so I ended up, thankfully, they have the 24-hour refund stuff where if you cancel it within 24 hours. So I ended up canceling the flight to Detroit, and I thought, you know what? My only option is a rental car. And so I grabbed a rental car at about 8 p.m. last night from Chicago, made the 3-hour and 40-minute drive to Ann Arbor, and we pulled in shortly before midnight Eastern time, just shortly before 11 o'clock Central time, and we are here and ready to see a top 5 matchup tonight.
Swim, how were the roads last night, man?
There was one stretch as we got into Michigan. There was one stretch that was pretty slick on the interstate. But I mean, to be fair, you just took all interstate the entire way, an expressway. And so those were pretty clear, and there was no weather. There was no snow. I didn't run into any precipitation or anything like that. There was just one about 5-mile stretch where the sign said, hey, like these roads for the next 5 miles aren't very clean. And so, yeah, it's been quite the adventure, but I'm hoping that tomorrow I fly out of Detroit tomorrow. So I'll drop off the rental car at the Detroit airport. But it's crazy because I'll fly out tomorrow about 2 o'clock Eastern time, get back into Lincoln at 6:30, and let's hope there's no glitches there tomorrow.
No doubt. So you got the one-way rental action.
Oh yeah. So I got the Chicago and then Detroit. But the good thing is now, I mean, I was planning on Ubering a little bit. Now I have a little bit more freedom of
Right.
where I can go and stuff. I might go explore Ann Arbor a little bit before the game and go see the campus. And I've heard some recommendations from some friends about some delis and things like that I got to try. And so we'll kind of wander around Ann Arbor here instead of maybe just sitting in our hotel waiting around.
It's good to see Jackaroo, Jack Russell at the corner, 1040. Good to see you, brother. That nice. I think Jack washes his truck swim once a week, man.
Oh, it's daily. It's got to be daily.
It could be a blizzard, but that truck is shiny.
hey, Jack. We know Jack, and he's a very succsical insurance agent, and we know he pays the premium price,
Yes,
the
he
highest
does.
level of package that you can have every single time. Would you like the gloss, sir? And he goes, yeah, of course.
Hey, Swim, I think he has a car wash in his garage. When he pulls out, it just washes it. When he pulls out, washes it when he comes back in.
He might hire people just to be sitting in his garage just to say, okay, I pull in, we start hand washing it.
Man, I'm glad you got up there. You and I and the group were texting into the night. When we both got in, I think when I texted you, I was just getting off on Old Highway 2 and Old Cheney going to my house. Dude, my flights were pretty uneventful, but the airports were just crazy. You know, there was a lot of backlog from people from the weekend, but Sunday morning, the flight to Houston was good. But I will say this, and even just going through the gate, that was the coldest I'd ever been in Houston when it's been that cold. It was very different. It was kind of eerie. It was so dang cold. And there was a lot of people at Houston Bush that were backlogged from the weekend, of course, but my flight to Orlando was fine. It was crazy. When I left out of Omaha Sunday morning, it was -8. I landed in Orlando, it was 85.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Woe is you.
Yeah, it was nuts, man.
What a tough life.
It was tough to get acclimated. I'm sitting out, and I made sure I was outside as much as I possibly could on Sunday and even as well as on Monday because my flight didn't leave until 4:30. So I literally worked outside the hotel. It was at a Disney property, so, you know, they do all this. But it was funny seeing all the kids with their Mickey hats and all the rest of that stuff because reminding we took our kids to Disney years ago. And there was also another reminder, Nick, when I called you in the airport that reminded me I don't miss the airplane rides, my kids. You heard that kid next to me, right?
Hey, AD, I'll let the listeners know. I called AD around lunch yesterday because we were kind of talking about the plan for today's show and tomorrow and stuff. And I mean, seriously, AD, I'm guessing I was on your Bluetooth headphones. I'm guessing you were wearing your Beats. And here's the deal. It sounded like I was in that baby's mouth. Like it was that dude, that baby was screaming bloody murder at the top of their lungs.
Hey.
And I was like, all right, I can barely hear AD, and he's the one that's wearing the headphones.
Man, this little kid. And you know, and I think because I've been there a little bit, we've all been there if we got
100%.
kids. This kid was just ready to go home. But he kept hitting his mom's hand saying, no. I'm like, well, if you're old enough to say no, you're old enough to get snatched up and taken back to the bathroom real quick. Because I was like, ain't no way in the world are my kids telling me, no, I'm not your buddy.
Yeah, you're gonna hear him screaming from the airplane bathroom. It's gonna be like, can we check what's going on? You're up 37,000 feet, and you just hear a kid go, ah!
And I think she was just tapped out. Mom was probably done.
Sure.
And so I just turned my headphones up a little louder, and the kid eventually went to sleep. And Big Ty, good morning. You're not lying. Orlando flights are the worst, man, because – and then the thing about it was there were another 3 kids to my left and 3 rows of the parents in the back, and they had their iPads. Dude, you wouldn't even know they were on the plane. They didn't say a word from Orlando to O'Hare. You know, it's a 2-hour, 40-minute flight. They didn't say a peep. And Mom and Dad was back there chilling, but the kid to my right, man, I don't know. He was struggling. But, you know, I always look at it like this, man. You never know what they're going through. So I don't really let it bother me too much.
Amen to that.
Because like I said, the mom's not happy. The kid's not happy. And I know this from experience in that 2 of my kids had really bad ear infection, you know, just ear problems all the time.
Sure.
And then when you're going up and down in the air, you know, and like I said, I'm not saying that was a situation last night, but you just don't know. I'm just like, man, it is what it is. You know, it's, but I'm glad I have my headphones. I'll put it that way. But Orlando was nice. Swim, this client was weird, man, in a good way. These folks are high-end, Nick. They're portrait studio owners. So I'm talking about like high-end portraits. Like when you would walk into a hotel lobby, you'd see a portrait of the founders of the family. So they're pictures with photography, but they're really high-end. They don't do anything, I don't think, for what the guy told me, for less than $5,000 a portrait. They ain't using iPhones.
$5,000 a portrait.
$5,000. They ain't using iPhones to take pictures and, take them to Shutter.
Wow.
These people, it's really high-end, really good group, which was a lot of fun. So, yeah, it was a good time, man. And honestly, they gave me the option, Swim, when I was at my hotel in the morning. It was like, the voucher got pretty high to take a flight for this morning.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, dude, they gave me $1,000 voucher if I was to fly this morning instead.
Is that right?
Swim, this is how much I love you,
They offered me a meal voucher in the airport last night because my flight got delayed to this morning.
McDonald's.
So they were like, you can have a meal voucher in O'Hare. And I was like, ooh, how tempting is that? And so
Wicker Park, here I come.
Yeah, I was like, man, yeah. And here's the thing: there was a part of me that sat here, and there was one flight that I could try to muscle on at 10:45 this morning, and it would have gotten me into Detroit at like 1 or 1:30. But it was coming from, I think it was Miami, was where the flight was coming from into O'Hare. And I thought, if that one gets delayed, I'm screwed.
Yep.
But there was a small part of me. The Lakers were in Chicago last night, and I'm a Bulls guy and stuff. And there was a small part of me that thought, okay, you know what? I could get a hotel here in Chicago, go watch the Bulls game, and then fly out in the morning. But then I thought, you know what? And the other part was, I thought to myself, the 3-hour drive might stink, but I'm going to regret when I get to 11:30 or 12 o'clock tonight in Chicago and I'm still awake. I'm going to regret it and go, Nick, you could have just been there.
Yeah.
And so I thought this is the thing to do, and it was an easy drive, and it was all good to go.
A lot less traffic.
Yeah, traffic was just fine getting out of Chicago.
A lot less traffic. Folks, we got a great show for you this morning. I almost said this afternoon. We got a great show for you this morning. Of course, Nebraska, where Nick is at there in Ann Arbor. Nebraska takes on number 2, Michigan, there in Ann Arbor. It's on Peacock, 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock up in the East, where Swim is at. We're also going to break down Nebraska versus Michigan. This is the biggest test yet. They will face on this gauntlet, of course, Illinois next on Sunday. But right now, all eyes are on Ann Arbor, so we'll break that down and discuss that. Nebraska also has peaked in the top 5. We're going to discuss that at 9:25. 10 o'clock, we'll dive really between the numbers between Nebraska and Michigan. Of course, there's a big name that just got off the coaching block, if you would. Interesting place. I'm going to get Nick's thoughts on this, both Nick's thoughts on this. Interesting name, goes from South Beach all the way out to California. We'll discuss that as well. Folks, it's The Drive. It is Tuesday. We'll be right back.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966. When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevenson Smith Construction slams expectations.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Just got new tires put on my car today.
You did? I did see you leave the office.
I didn't need to. Graham Tire picked up my car this morning and dropped it back off and they were done.
You're kidding. How'd you get that kind of service?
That's just what they do at Graham Tire.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
Clear your calendar. It's a volleyball weekend in Omaha. Love Nebraska returns to Baxter Arena for back-to-back home matches on January 30th and February 1st, facing Love Madison and Love Austin. 2 matches, 2 chances to see your hometown team compete as the season heats up. Featuring Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson taking on the likes of Lauren Carlini and Maddie Skinner, and special moments throughout the weekend. This is your opportunity to catch all the action live. Make it one night or both nights. Get your tickets now at lobbneb.com/tickets.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas, and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Sports Show. Don't miss the family show of outdoor fun, the 57th Annual Boat Sport and Travel Show, January 30th to February 1st at the Sandhills Global Event Center. RVs, boats, docks, golf carts, resorts, fishing lures, family entertainment, and more. See exotic animals at Wildlife Encounters. Enjoy the petting zoo and the balloon lady. Doors open at noon on Friday, 10 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. Bring the neighbors. See you there.
Sports Show. Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks, we are back on The Drive. And we apologize for the technical difficulties we're having. As Nick Wyman will tell you, this is something that's just weird. It was working for early break, and it'll probably click on and work sometime throughout the show. If not, it'll click on later, but Jake and Nick are feverishly trying to figure that out, so we apologize to the folks that are trying to watch on the YouTube stream. It's technology. It's got a mind of its own. It'll do what it's going to do when it feels like doing it, man.
Of course, the first time I'm in here, I show up here around 8 o'clock, and this happens. I'm bad mojo, Nick. My bad.
Not at all. Folks, this segment is brought to you by Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services. Jack has been a well-respected rep since 1999. He can help protect your home, your vehicle, your family, even your future. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100 or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or in Seward and learn how Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services can help you. Swim, man, I got some congestion going on in my chest, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Things are going around, my friend.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's obviously the around all the people and traveling, obviously the stark contrast and temperatures. Yesterday was a 90-minute talk, man. I've been meaning to wear my my monitor when I'm speaking to see how many calories I burn. But, just going from the extreme temperatures, you're in airplanes and airports. But I was last night, man, I was on towards about 30 minutes left in the flight. I just felt this congestion going to my chest. So, man, I took some stuff this morning, but I think I'm going to go sweat some stuff out. I sweated out this morning in the garage, but I think I'm heading to that sauna later today, man. It's going to be a sauna.
Yeah, you got to take care. Hey, I forgot to tell you, I did join, no free shout outs, you know the drill. But last week, before I started traveling a little bit and went out of town, last week I joined your gym.
Nice.
So
you're gonna love
who
it,
knows?
man.
So I'll be probably not. I probably won't be lifting as much as you, but I think I'll be able to get close in the next 2 months or so.
You know what, brother? It's all
those 125-pound dumbbells.
No, I have not messed with 125. I would be luring my back. The highest, but you know how high I've gone. I ain't gone 125 dumbbells. That's not without a spot.
That's true.
Not without a spotter. A spotter for the spotter.
Honestly, yeah. Can I get 2 for each arm, please?
Folks, Nick Wyman, of course, talked about it last night from 10 to 12 to do the ticket weeknights. Definitely check Nick out. And Harrison, correct, is with you on that as well?
Yeah, Harrison's off on Mondays, but he'll be here tonight. So he'll be for an hour with me.
Shout out to you guys, man. I was able to listen to you guys coming in from the airport last night from Omaha, man. So you guys did a great job on that. So when you initially saw Nebraska ranked number 5, and also if you'd like to join the show and text in, we can't have you call in because we got Swim on that one. And again, we are working on the technical difficulties, so we apologize for the folks that are trying to watch it on stream. You can always listen. You don't have to see our faces, which is not necessarily a bad thing as far as that goes.
Yeah.
But Swim, when you initially saw Nebraska ranked number 5, what were your initial thoughts? For obviously a lot of things they're doing now is they're making school history. Initial thoughts on that?
Well, it was crazy. I mean, I think first Nebraska fans still have this is this real life type of thing. Nebraska has the highest ranking in AP history, or excuse me, in their school history of the AP poll. Here's the thing. Every part of it's deserved. And this is something I talked about with Jay yesterday, AD, where it's like, no matter what happens tonight, if Nebraska loses by double digits, which I just don't see happening, if Nebraska loses by a few, or if they're able to pull out the victory tonight, nothing changes on how historic of a season they have here. I think this is something that I said a couple of weeks ago with you is when they're a top 10 team, and if let's say they go into a respectable opponent and their place on the road and they fall or they lose, it's not like sky is falling, the world is over type of mentality. That's just not where you're at. And this team has proven that they deserve to have a better narrative than that. And I think that tonight is going to be their toughest test. It's going to be Michigan's toughest test. We can't sit here and act like this is a one-sided street to where, you know what, only for Nebraska is this going to be Nebraska's toughest test of the season. No. On the other side, the Wolverines and Michigan folks are sitting there going, okay, we have an undefeated team coming into the Chrysler Center tonight. They're 20-0. They're 9-0 in the Big Ten, all by themselves at the top of the standings. To this point, similar to Nebraska and Michigan being their toughest test by record, Nebraska's probably going to be Michigan's toughest test to this point of the season as well. And so the same way that we're talking about Michigan, we have to realize and come to terms with, I think, that Michigan's probably talking about Nebraska the same exact way.
Sim, everything you said, that's when Michigan is thinking about Nebraska the same way. Nick, I want to get both of your thoughts on that. Nick, does that sounds crazy to even hear you utter that, but it's the truth.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is. And I just think that, Nebraska is going to have to figure out a way to, there's not necessarily a blueprint on how you beat Michigan. It's crazy because Fred Hoiberg kind of talked about it yesterday. The pace is going to be incredibly important today. I think also Michigan has averages almost 7 blocks a game as a team, and Nebraska is just not there. Nebraska is going to have to fight, and they're probably going to struggle on the glass tonight. But if you can at least hold some of your ground, and then also when you do struggle on the glass, Fred talked about it yesterday, get back in transition. You got to get back on defense. And so there's some things that I think that they've identified. I know they have that they're going to have to really kind of look for and work at tonight if they want a chance to knock off Michigan. But then, like, guys, I think so much of the conversation, AD, this week has been, okay, what's going to be the narrative or the mentality for Nebraska and Nebraska fans if they lose, right? Let's talk about on the flip side for a second. Well, what if they win? I mean, if Nebraska wins tonight on the road in Ann Arbor, the train does not slow down, and you have Illinois on Sunday, and the thing does not slow down, and you're just kind of ready to just once again tighten that buckle a little bit tighter because this train's not moving or not stopping. Rather,
it's not. Like I said, I'm not going to bother you too much because we'll probably hop on together at we'll ride the show in it from 10 to 11 if we can't get the audio, the video part working. And I think it was look at this guy right here.
So
Wyman and Jake, I see you, dog. How you want it, Jake?
So I sent myself the link to the stream on the other computer and got to work. So now you're up there, Nick. I'm sending you the link as we speak. Next segment we can get it going, and then we're rolling. So,
dude, okay,
we're gonna test this out here. Yeah, go ahead. I'll stay on here, but go ahead and I'll work behind the scenes.
Yep, next segment we'll get that going. But yeah,
Wyman, first of all, what you just said to me, you might as well been speaking German, but y'all some bad boys, man. I sent the link to me. We linked it up to Saturn, and Saturn kicked it on back to the flux capacitor.
I may know what I'm doing, but you just fake it till you make it. And we're trying, just been sitting over here trying some stuff. So that's what we're doing. But yeah, I mean, big game tonight. You guys have pretty much touched every topic, and Frager game time decision, obviously the big deal, but I'm not worried about that. I trust Fred Hoiberg in the process. So I'm going to get here sending this, Nick. You guys keep doing your thing.
You know what? I'm going to chime in on this because here's the big picture. This is not a fluke. At 20-0, at 10-0, obviously you're thinking, okay, you started off 10. You get to 15, and I'm going to 5 again increments here. You figure this team is for real because you look at what Nebraska's done. You know, Washington at home, a tough physical game. Nebraska pulls away late. They win 76-66. Third straight double-digit Big Ten win. At Minnesota, the barn, which obviously 10-8, I believe what they were, 10-7, whatever Minnesota score was, not an easy place to play, which the first half proved that. But the second half, Nebraska literally burned the dang barn down with sharpshooting. They were down at halftime. If you haven't seen Coach Hoiberg's halftime speech, I would highly encourage you to go on Husker Basketball on X and check it out. He ripped into them. They ripped into each other, and they took care of business and totally dominated the second half because Minnesota, they lived by the 3 in the first half, and they absolutely died by it in the second, in spite of the absolute horrific officiating that took place in that game. Nebraska still flipped that switch, dominated in the second half at the barn, burned that sucker down, 76-57. This team can win pretty. They can win ugly. Because one thing, regardless of what's happening with the baskets, defense travels. If you allow it to. Nebraska packed their defense, and they've done that every game, hence why they're 20-0. Nick, here's the thing, though, what makes this team different, in my opinion, though. The defense. Their defense, we could talk about the shooting of Stanford. We can talk about Rank Mass. We can talk about, I would say, the second act, Jamarcus Lawrence 2.0. We can talk about that. Obviously, freaky Frager. I can go on and on and on. But the reality is this, even at the Washington game that I went to, so when all joking aside, being that close to the floor, when I told this on the air last week, there was the Washington point guard he goes, they keep coming. They just keep coming at us over and over. They are relentless. They are like sharks with blood in the water. And Swim, you know, one thing about a good basketball team, they talk without talking. And that was one thing I noticed, Swim. Those guys have played together for so long. They can look at each other, and maybe not even look. They can feel each other's presence on the court, and they just move automatically. It's a special thing that we've watched. And quite honestly, I think Nebraska has as good a shot as anybody else is beating this Michigan team because the way their body of work has proven that. They've been in hostile environments before. We think about Illinois. You think about that weeknight against Ohio State where even the commentators seemed like they were Buckeye fans. Nebraska has proven that defense travels even when their shots are not falling. they make up for it by relentless defense.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I also think that when you look at Nebraska, the biggest thing that I'm able to point to, AD, they just don't panic. They just don't panic, and that's such a enjoyable piece of this team to watch. Like whether it was, we saw like the law of averages kind of work out in full transparency on Saturday, to where Saturday morning or Saturday in the first half, Nebraska was not themselves. Fred Hoiberg gets on them a little bit. They don't panic. And what happens? Minnesota, their shooting ability goes back to where it's averaged all season long. They don't hit 9 threes in the first half on average. They do way less than that. And so they kind of even it out in the second half. Then what does Nebraska do? They don't panic. And what ends up happening? Nebraska's play starts to rise to the occasion like it has been all season long. Just keep on grinding. And if you look at the end, the final score, you would be hard pressed to believe that Nebraska was down by almost 10 points at halftime. It's just that's just where we're at for Nebraska basketball right now. And I think that's a very enjoyable thing for Husker fans to follow along, because YAD, think about what other really successful program never panicked when things went bad or things did not go as planned? Your teams, you guys in the 90s. Now, granted, it's a completely different conversation. We're talking about national championships for you guys, and who knows where Nebraska basketball lands. But in terms of team characteristics, there's similarities that I think a lot of Husker fans are starting to relate to.
You look at the second half adjustments that you mentioned, Nick, and the poise is the other word that I look for. Not only just relentless defense, but they're very poised. As you mentioned, they don't panic. You never see it on their face. Even against think about this, when they were at Assembly Hall in Michigan, not Michigan, but in Indiana about a month ago, give or take, they're getting absolutely boat raced to a lot better team than Minnesota as far as that goes. Yet you saw poise against Illinois. Of course, Jamarcus hits that second shot, the 3-pointer to end the game. But in all of those games, and even early against Washington was kind of a rough and tussle game, you just don't see those guys flinch much. And they stay grounded despite all the hype. And they've done an incredible job, Wyman, of just playing in game-tight compartments. Share a little bit what you shared last night with Harrison, because I know at 10 o'clock we're going to get between the numbers, but a little bit what you shared with Harrison before we go to break.
I mean, Harrison wasn't here yesterday.
Not Harrison,
yeah, but we've talked all about how this Nebraska team just continues to find ways. Like, is there a superstar on the team? You could argue, yes, Price is right now the guy. Rink earlier in the year. It's complementary basketball,
yes,
and I think that's what helps. And there's teams who have won the big. We're talking March here. Teams who have won the big one. Don't have the superstar player, the NBA draft prospect, but just way to find ways to win. That's what this team did. Down against Indiana, 16 points, improbable comeback. Win against Michigan State at home was arguably the biggest game in program history at that point. And now here we are at the end of the month. This is the game that everybody's kind of been circled on their calendars for the past 3 weeks. And they just keep finding ways to win. 20-0. I mean, they're not 20-0 for luck. I mean, there are a couple shots there with Jamarcus Lawrence out in Illinois. They just keep finding ways to win. And they're going to have to shoot lights out against a team like Michigan, because they're as advertised.
Yeah, we're going to dig into a lot of what Michigan, their starters, the returners, and the influencers for the Wolverines. So we'll discuss that as well. Swim, real quick before we go to break, what's the temperature like? What's the weather like up in Ann Arbor, man?
It is cold. It's -2. So it is chilly. It is. I think it was. You know what? Actually, I think the real temperature in Ann Arbor. I was watching the news this morning at like 6 o'clock. The real temperature, it was -2. It felt like -15. So it is chilly up here.
We got a balmy 19 degrees right now. I said it feels like
Heat
11.
wave.
Heat wave, man. It's supposed to be a high of 29 today, high of 33 tomorrow. A balmy 24 on Thursday. Then it dips down a little bit the weekend to 18, 22, and 38 on Sunday, respectively. So, yeah, anything, as long as I don't see negative behind there, anything positive definitely is a major difference on the blood streaming under the skin, man, as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Folks, when we come back, we got a quick history segment. And at 10 o'clock, we're going to dive more in the numbers, talk about the defensive blueprint, the biggest test yet for Nebraska, what's really at stake, and kind of get some thoughts from you. I want to hear from you. Just your feelings on this year's run so far. Nebraska, you think about this. Nick, this is no fluke. You've seen consistent improvement from Nebraska. This is their third straight 20-plus win season. And not only that, they secured that in January.
Yeah, January 2020, what was it, 24th? It was the day that they got it on Saturday. It's wild. And I brought up guys, obviously Sam Griesel and Derek Walker get a lot of the credit, but I mean, even guys like Emmanuel Bandamel, who got injured early in the year, the transfer from SMU, who didn't get to play a whole lot of time at Nebraska, but even guys like that maybe go under the radar a little bit are ones that we need to also, sit back and applaud and shout out for what they were able to do from a culture setting standpoint the last couple of seasons. And Fred's done a great job of just consistently building this thing, and it's going to be an exciting night at the Chrysler Center tonight.
Folks, when we come back, we got some history to discuss. Top of the hour between the numbers between Nebraska takes on number 3, Michigan Wolverines. We'll be back. It's The Drive.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas, and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating
and Electrical.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL Weather, sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies with a light north breeze, an afternoon high around 27. Tonight, mainly clear skies and calm winds. Be cold, the low around 9. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds, a little warmer with the high near 33. I'm meteorologist Kyle Puckett for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear with Honda of Lincoln. Before I bring Andy on, we want to wish you joy, success, and good health in 2026. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I am, Charlie. And by the way, that was well said.
Andy, I know you want to kick off 2026 with a bang. What's going on at the dealership?
We got a lot going on here, Charlie. We have incredible savings on every new remaining 2025, New Year savings on every new 2026, special low long-term financing, and special lease rates. The biggest news is we have more than 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from.
How about pre-owned?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned Hondas right now with prices starting at under $10,000, and we have special low rates.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Hey, Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966. If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Clear your calendar. It's a volleyball weekend in Omaha. Love Nebraska returns to Baxter Arena for back-to-back home matches on January 30th and February 1st, facing Love Madison and Love Austin. 2 matches, 2 chances to see your hometown team compete as the season heats up. Featuring Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson taking on the likes of Lauren Carlini and Maddie Skinner, and special moments throughout the weekend. This is your opportunity to catch all the action live. Make it one night or both nights. Get your tickets now at lobbneb.com/tickets. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainer on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks, we are back. I'm here at the mothership, 1040 O Street. We got Sainer up in Ann Arbor where the temperature is -2. We're here with a balmy 19 degrees. So it feels like 11. I will take 11 over -2 any day, Swim. Any day, my brother. Oh.
AD, I'll start us off with history here, man. Today is a massive day in the plane world, in the air travel world. No more what's it called? Reserved, or what's it called? Free choice seating on Southwest Airlines. I'm blanking on what the actual name is. All seats are assigned now on Southwest Airlines.
It's finally happened.
Today's the first day that flights are assigned seatings. So there's 8. I saw on Twitter 8 board groups for Southwest Airlines, and the last flight went to Hawaii or something like that for Southwest Airlines yesterday, and that was the last flight last night that didn't have assigned seating. And so everybody that loved to fly Southwest because you got to pick your seats when you got there. There's no more checking in 24 hours in advance and hoping you get a good spot. There's nothing like that anymore. It's like all the other airlines where you pay for the seats and you got to pay for bags.
Southwest, like, we need some of that coin, man.
They were like, hey, and you know what? We're missing out on a lot. And here's the deal. At the end of the day, AD, like you and I and a lot of us similar-minded guys, we'd fly Southwest when we'd go golf places because we could fly our clubs for free. Right. And I mean, heck, when I went to Canada in August, we flew into Buffalo, Southwest Airlines, so we could fly our clubs for free through Southwest Airlines. None of that anymore. So because they probably realized that, you know what, even if you have to pay for it, you're probably still going to still fly your clubs, and you'll just pay that for the clubs instead of not flying in general.
Yeah, their attrition rate will be minimal as far as that goes, because we're used to doing it anyway on the other airlines, unless you were just a diehard Southwest airline flyer to where that's the only airline you flew. But, you know, like you mentioned, Nick, in this day and age with fuel prices, economy, et cetera, you got to look for those verticals in your business. When you look at the other airlines, have been doing it since the inception, dang there in Southwest, like, you know what, we are leaving millions of dollars, millions, tens of millions on the table by not doing this. And far as us goes, Swim, as you mentioned, the flyer, the passenger, we're used to it anyway, so, and I personally hated having to remind myself or, to check in if I didn't pay for the early bird at the get-go. But I mean, it is what it is. Some are going to love it. Some are going to hate it like anything else, man, as far as that goes.
I also know you always paid for the early bird, though. Don't get me wrong. I know darn well. Oh, come on. You were always like, give me that A1 through 15.
Sometimes I did not. I would literally set my phone.
There would be times where I'd go, oh, I forgot I'm supposed to check in. And I'd be like C16. And I'd be like, darn well, you're either getting in row 48 and you're maybe getting an aisle seat, or you're going to be in the middle of some two of the larger human beings on planet Earth.
Yes. And if it's a quick flight to Chicago, that's one thing. But when you're flying to like Houston or one of the coasts, it's like, no way do you want to be that long. I don't care if I'm a little, I'm not the biggest guy by any stretch, but I'm just like, no, I want my space, man. I want my space a little bit. Other history, this was monumental if you're a Steeler fan. On this day, Chuck Noll, the late Chuck Noll, who passed away in 2014, became the youngest coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers at that time. He was 37 years old when he took over. The Steelers were originally named Swim the Pirates, hence why you have the Pirates. But they're originally named the Pirates. Mr. Rooney changed them to the Steelers. He did a submission to the Pittsburgh Gazette and said, "Hey, you guys choose the name. The name that got the biggest votes was the Steelers, which they're now obviously the Pittsburgh Steelers." The history of the do you know the history of the terrible towel, Swim?
I don't know the history of it. No.
The history of the terrible towel came from Myron Cope. He was a longtime Steelers announcer and play-by-play personality. But in 1975, before a game with the Colts, he goes, he says, go get a yellow towel and just wave it during the game. Obviously yellow because it's one of the Steelers colors, and just wave it. Well, it took on a whole new meaning. And here we are 50 plus years later. If you're a Steeler fan, you see those terrible towels being waved all over the place. And what's kind of cool, Swim, the proceeds from that goes to a foundation and to a school that he designated all those years ago. So a large majority of those sales of the terrible towels go towards that foundation for those kids at that school. So Chuck Noll, we got a new coach now. I haven't been on the air to talk about it, but Swim, what'd you think about the new coach for the Steelers?
Hey, Mike McCarthy. I mean, here you go. They obviously have the prior connection to Aaron Rodgers. If Rodgers wants to come back, I think that's kind of the thing that I was actually reading some articles over the Pittsburgh Steelers today. The hell was not freezing over. I was reading them by choice. But no, it was really interesting because Aaron Rodgers, number one, has to be okay with them bringing in other QBs. Right now, whether that's drafting a guy and maybe bringing him up through the tutelage of Aaron Rodgers, if Rodgers decides to come back, Rodgers needs to decide what he wants to do, because obviously you have the pre-existing relationship between he and McCarthy from their time in Green Bay, however that dynamic is. But then on top of that is part of the condition last year with Aaron Rodgers was not having any other, potential starting quarterbacks on their roster. And he wanted to make sure that he was going to be the guy in Pittsburgh. You have to kind of put your ego aside at some point, I think, if you're a guy like Aaron Rodgers, and say, all right, I understand my time is coming to an end. We got to think organizationally here. And if I want a place to play next year and I want it to be Pittsburgh, I also have to be okay with them maybe bringing in a little competition.
Absolutely. And Pittsburgh has to be smart in not allowing themselves to get put on a ball and chain by Aaron Rodgers, with most likely, if he's not retired now, he will be for sure next year. As far as I can't say for sure, but all dudes like he will be at that time. So it's going to be interesting. I didn't have a problem with it, Swim. I preferred, oh gosh, my mind went blank. Flores. I preferred Flores just for the youth, or even a Shula, to get Shula to come in as well, a mentor as well, just because of the youth in those guys. But at the same time, both McCarthy and Harbaugh have almost identical records. And it shows you in Pittsburgh, there's so many people, man, get rid of Mike, or keep Mike. Oh, this guy's old. They wouldn't have had a problem if they would have hired Harbaugh, though. And it's like, it shows you a lot because of the personal brand, et cetera. That Harbaugh was just in the coaching mix, obviously was just there in Baltimore. But like I said, I would have preferred somebody a bit younger, but I don't have a problem with McCarthy, because from an offensive perspective, that has been the Berg's problem, man. It wasn't defense. That defense gets it done. That defense has been tired. In fact, because the offense was so atrocious under Canada and Arthur Smith, I personally think it's taken some time off Watt's career because they were heavily, and Hayward as well. And I can go on and on. Patrick Queen, those guys spent so much time on the field during games because the offensive production was so anemic. So I'm hopefully with the offensive mind that McCarthy has, and obviously a lot of that's going to depend on the quarterbacks, and obviously we'll see what happens with that. But I didn't have a problem with it. But still, for me, prove it on Sundays. So to me, it's still a wait-and-see approach, but initially I didn't have a problem with it. Folks, when we come back, we're going to go between the numbers with Michigan, look at who their main guys are, what they bring, and what Nebraska brings, and how it matches up. It's The Drive. It's 93.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com. MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their Contact Us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966. Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, And we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Former football national champion, speaker, and author Aaron Davis.
Pain is a teacher if you use it. And the lessons in the carnage of pain sometimes are elusive. They hide, they're stealth. The work is finding the lessons through the pain. There's always a message in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainert.
Driving left side is Boyer, picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of BJ Bradford up the floor to Jack Ostrader. Watch out! Mafisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good.
It's on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks, we're back on this tremendous Tuesday. We hope your morning is off to a great start as we start hour 2. And again, if you'd like to chime in and join the show via text, 42464-5685. I want to read this to you as well before we get going into it. Big B, I appreciate you sending this and also the liberty to give me the liberty to share this. He goes, wanted to thank you. Had a checkup recently, 57 years old. PSA was up, meaning his prostate numbers. 2 blood draws weeks apart, to be sure, up again. Urologist visit and now an MRI on my prostate. Guys, get checked. Guys, get checked. Big B, I'm so glad you went in, man. And I cannot stress this enough. When you're up, when you get to about, like I said, if you got prostate cancer in your family, folks, get in. Even if you don't, get in for your annual physicals. Ladies that are listening, get in for your annuals. I can't stress it enough. And Big B, man, I'm praying for you. I'm so glad that you were proactive, because here's the reality, Swim. And both of you, Nick, you guys are younger, but I'm going to tell you something. Get into your physicals. Early detection literally can save your life, because it saved mine. Had I not gone in, and I've said this, I'm beating the drum on this because I've said this so many times. Had I not gone in April of 2021, I was going to push it until the fall. Me and Rav had our golf trip planned, etc. It's like, you know what? But I didn't go in 2020 because of COVID. The doctor said, unless it's emergency, not to go in, like a lot of folks. But I was going to push it until the fall. My cancer was very aggressive. And had I not gone in, I'm probably, for all due purposes, I'm not here, because mine was very aggressive. And my doc said, I'm so glad you came in, because you give that thing, 5-6 more months to grow in your system, then it starts to spread. By the grace of God, mine was isolated to my prostate. But when that thing starts to spread, and if you start feeling things, you're feeling off, you're in a very slippery slope at that point. So Big B, man, thank you for making this shareable and giving me the liberty to do that. That urologist visit coming up, man, I'll be keeping you in prayers on that. Dude, reach out to me if I can do anything, Warrior. Just offer you some comfort and some insight, because it is a scary situation at times, man. But the key thing is, you've caught it early. You've stayed on top of it. So to all of you out there, get in and get checked. I can't beg you. I'm pleading with you to do that. So Big B, thoughts and prayers to you. I know the rest of the crew, that folks that are listening, are doing the same as well. Swim, you are there in Ann Arbor. What time are you? Tell me kind of the day. I mean, not your day, but what's your plans as you leave the hotel and set up credentials? Give us a rundown of that before we dive into the numbers.
Yes, we can pick up credentials a couple hours before the game starts. I'll probably get into the arena. So it's everything obviously is an hour later here already. So it's 11:07 here instead of 10:07 like it is back home. So game tips off at 7 p.m. our time here, 6 p.m. your guys' time. So I'll probably get into the arena around 4:30 or 5, a couple of hours, 2.5 hours or so before tip off is scheduled. And so I'll get in the arena, go pick up credentials and stuff like that. Throughout the course of the day, though, I gotta figure out a couple of things. Parking situation. They got quite a bit of snow here in comparison to what we did there, and so there's I was talking to some folks around town and stuff this morning at breakfast, and they've shut down parking lots. They've had a lot of schools today that, because of the cold and because of the snow and ice that's in actually Ann Arbor, they are actually shut down. So there's a lot of things that are just not necessarily normal. And since we're not Ubering to the arena, we're gonna Uber and try to find parking lots, and then still doing the usual 93.7 The Ticket day-to-day stuff as well. So I got some meetings that I'm doing over Zoom today to try to find more partners for us.
Dude, that's going to be a great environment. Swim. How many does that place seat, man? Their arena.
Oh, I should have had this. So Chrysler Center, I want to say it's around the same as PBA, if I remember correctly, just shy of 14,000. So a little smaller than Pinnacle Bank Arena, but it's also a place. Nebraska is 1-8 in their time as a member of the Big Ten Conference in the Chrysler Center. And so that last win came in March of 2024. So pretty recent. That was a really bad Michigan team. They were almost 15 games below 500 were the Wolverines. Yeah. It was Nebraska's 20th win of the season in 2024, believe it or not. This was before, I want to say it was before Dusty May got there as well. And so they were going through the whole Juwan Howard situation before that. And so that was the last time Nebraska won in Ann Arbor. That's been the only time that they've won in Ann Arbor. And so it goes along with the sentiment of Champaign and the Barn and other places, Ohio State and then Columbus. Like Nebraska historically might not play well at these places, but this year that hasn't really mattered.
Nebraska number 5, of course, 20-0, 9-0 in the Big Ten. Michigan number 3, 18-1, 8-1 in the Big Ten. That game is obviously tonight, 6 p.m. Central, 7 o'clock East Coast time. It will be on Peacock. As Nick mentioned, head coach for Michigan is Dusty May. He's turned Michigan into a national title contender. The record proves that. Their play proves that. And he did it fast, only his second season. Sweet 16 appearance. Overall record at Michigan, he's been there 45-11. And since the FAU Final Four run, May is 105-24. And that is some serious consistency as far as that goes. The overall series of Michigan and Nebraska is 23-5, with Michigan leading that, of course, 1-8 as of years recently, as Mitch mentioned. The last matchup was February 2025. Michigan won 49-46. That was that grind-out game that Nebraska dropped last year. This Nebraska team, of course, is much different. It's a lot deeper. Some of the key personnel for Michigan, they have Roddy Gale Jr., the dude he's kind of like Vinny the Microwave for the Detroit Pistons back in the day. He's averaging 9 off the bench. He's instant offense. You got your Namari Burnett, who seemed like he's been in college forever, steady starter. And then their sophomore sensation that's expanded quite a bit, L.J. Kaysen and Will Shetter is their deep forward. But their key departures, they lost Golden this past year, Danny Wolf and Trey Donaldson. And Trey Donaldson in particular was their double-digit scorer, but also Danny Wolf, of course, if there's all Big Ten, second team, went to the NBA draft. Some of their new faces, Swim, is Yexel Lindborg, Michigan's engine. He's the one who leads the team in points, rebounds, and steals. Yexel is a monster. Morris Johnson Jr., transferred from the Fighting Illini, Illinois, physical scorer. Nick, what was the big man's name? Was it Martinelli for Northwestern?
Yeah, Nick Martinelli, one of the guard/forward type of guy for Northwestern, yeah.
Johnson is kind of a physical scorer like him, obviously somewhat different games, but both look to get the basket, very aggressive. And then Ade Mora, he's 7'3", UCLA transfer. He's a big boy. Nebraska's had their taste of big guys, obviously, with Washington and Oregon. Elliot Cadews from North Carolina transfer. He's their assist leader. And then Trey McKinney, their freshman, he was a top 25 recruit, and he's their sixth man and scorer as well. Swim, does the depth of Michigan bother you minus Frager for us, what it's looking like most likely? And do you know for sure if Frager made the trip? The depth of Michigan, does it bother you in minus Frager?
We don't know official word on whether or not Frager traveled with Nebraska. We don't know official word. I heard yesterday morning that it probably was unlikely that he was going to travel. However, Fred Hoiberg comes out in the press conference yesterday and says that he's made great and quote great progress, and that it's a game time decision, and that he was going to meet with Braden and the team doctors in the next couple of hours yesterday after the press conference and decide whether or not he wanted to fly out there. I think ultimately the hope for Frager is that he's ready to go and is able to play a certain amount of minutes in the Illinois game this weekend. But if you can have him in spot situations tonight, then I think Nebraska's obviously better off. It's sure the depth conversation can concern me. I think I think what concerns me more is just how this is going to be another game where, in terms of athleticism, Nebraska is kind of the lesser of the two teams. Nebraska is not going to have more athleticism than Michigan does. Michigan does little things really well, like closing out quickly. Nebraska is a team that plays with such pace, and normally, whether it's off a make or a miss, they try to run the floor and get down to their side of the floor as quick as possible. And Jamarcus Lawrence has done a great job of kind of orchestrating the pace for Nebraska offensively. But I think it's really important for Nebraska today. Michigan's a team that averages almost 7 blocks a game. They're one of the best shot blocking teams in the country. They rank 2nd in the country in defensive efficiency and 8th in the country in offensive efficiency. I mean, this is a team that I think that there's very few cracks. So Nebraska's got to do all the little things that they've been doing so well all season long. They got to do them even better tonight. And I think there's just not a single possession you can take off if you're Nebraska.
From the text line we got here, unknown texter 0278. He goes, hot take. I'd take 100% Frager going into Illinois over 75% Frager tonight. Top 5 loss on the road hurts less than a top 10 home loss. And you know what, unknown texter, I'm going to agree with you on that. I would not, if Frager was not close to 100%, Swim, I want to get your input on this as well. This is just me. If he's not at least 90, I'm not taking that chance, because if he's less than that, and obviously I'm no doctor, no expert, anything like that, but if you're not healthy, fully healthy, or at least 90, because everybody's got some bumps and bruises going this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's got a little hitch in their step, bumps and bruises. But man, it's something that takes as long as a high ankle sprain. You do one thing to irritate that, and then you set yourself back again as you're getting into the teeth of this final stretch. Me personally, if Frager was not to 90%, I would not play him.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of in agreement with you there. Nebraska is very, very cautious at times, and I think this is a good thing. I think they're very, very cautious, and they've been very cautious with Oogie, obviously, all season long, and who knows what the outlook for Oogie is going forward. But for Braden Frager especially, I mean, this is another reason, and they don't play the same position, and there's different values for each of these guys, but this is a game tonight to where, and a stretch, right, where it's going to be obviously Michigan tonight, Sunday against Illinois, Rutgers on the road, and then back home against Purdue. That's your next 4 games. This is the stretch of where we see Nebraska deciding and being okay with giving Rink a little time off during games when they don't need him to play. This is when we need like a Rink Mask to step up. And what we've seen from Rink in the past is that he plays his biggest games against the biggest and toughest opponents. You go back to 2 years ago, Wisconsin and Purdue, when they came to Lincoln, that Rink Mask showed out time and time again. This season against Michigan State, Rink Mask hit 6 threes. Even if you go back to the exhibition against BYU, what did Rink Mask do? He started off 5 of 5 from beyond the 3-point line. Rink shows up when it matters most, and that's what great players do. And so in a game like tonight, I'm kind of in agreement with you. I'm not saying to say I do not agree with the texter's mindset of like, hey, let's go in and say, let's not play Braden Frager because if we lose this game, it's okay. I think that's the wrong mentality to have if you're trying to win a conference championship or make an upset on the road. But I see where they're coming from, and I understand where you're coming from, AD, because I do agree with you that you just don't want to risk it, because there's a lot of season left to have for a team like Nebraska who's going to be playing hopefully deep into March.
Yeah, you are. And like I said, something with a high ankle sprain, man, like I said, it takes a slight thing for you to step on somebody's ankle, come down on it wrong. And when you're healthy, you're coming down. I mean, like I said, it's you withstand those, but if it's you're already nursing that thing, and then you play more cautious, and that's just reality. And then when you do play more cautious, you increase the chance of re-injuring it in the first place. Because, so like I said, I know Fred and his team and his staff, medical staff, those guys are not going to put him on a position to where if they don't think he's able to go. So like I said, that right now, though, if I'm those guys in that locker room, which I know Coach Hoiberg's got those right, he's ready to go, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about the for sure guys we have going out there. And Swim, I'll say this, in my opinion, tonight, we obviously the obvious ones, but this one might be obvious as well. I think Jamarcus has to insert himself a lot more tonight, man. I think he has to be more aggressive, going to the cup and inserting his will a little bit more often to kick out. But because we've seen hints of that at the barn last week. We've seen hints of that, of course, at Illinois. We've seen hints of that at Washington. I'm sorry, at home versus Washington when Frager went out. I think about it. He is the one of the guys on that besides Frager that can create his own shots. And that's going to be big against a team that's very athletic, that's got height. Jamarcus, in my opinion, is going to have to be some of that X factor. And I feel weird even calling him an X factor, but I'm saying I think he's going to have to exert and insert himself a lot more in the offenses. What's your take on that, bro?
Well, I absolutely agree. I think you look at what Jamarcus has done in two of his more meaningful games this season in Illinois and in Indiana, right? Those two games, obviously he hits the game-winning shot against Illinois, but then against Indiana, he goes out and drops 27 points. I think what Jamarcus has done and brought I keep bringing up the buzzword pace with this Nebraska basketball team, but it's such an integral part of their team and their makeup that once Jamarcus gets the ball inbounded to him tonight, like I'm really fascinated to watch what he does and how he kind of adjusts to it. Does he try to go right at Michigan, or does he try to maybe dribble in and then kick out? Fred talked about it yesterday, that the most important, this game is going to be won and lost determining what Nebraska does when they get 2 feet in the paint. And what he means by that is if Jamarcus is dribbling up the floor and trying to push the pace and trying to get to the bucket, he gets into the paint. Is he going to try to go up on a 6'9" Yaxel Lindenberg, or what? Like, what's going to happen? Like, what's he going to do? Is he going to try to go up on him, or is he going to try to kick it out? Or like, what's the decision from Jamarcus Lawrence? I talked about it. Michigan is top 10 in both offensive and defensive efficiency. The last, I think the statistic is like the last 5 or 6 national champions in college basketball have had top 10 offensive and defensive efficiency. Like, that is one of the statistics that like the quote unquote experts look at to say, is this a national champion contender? Michigan's that by definition, by analytics, that's what they are. They're one of the best in the country. And I think this is an opportunity for Nebraska to show that they are there too. And so, it's going to be take care of the basketball. Fred Hoiberg mentioned that ad nauseum yesterday. And so, yeah, but you're right, AD. It all starts with Jamarcus Lawrence, and he doesn't have to go out and drop 27, but we know that you kind of just play like you've played, because Minnesota did their thing against Price Sanford, and yet he still was able to get his shot off and go for 20 plus for the 5th straight game. This is where, do we see more pick and pop with Rink Mast? Do we see Jamarcus Lawrence, like you said, create his own shot? Jared Garcia, if Nebraska wants to win tonight, they're going to need to get the Jared Garcia that we saw in the last 8 minutes against Illinois. Like, you're going to need guys from 1 to 7 or 8 that play consistent minutes tonight. You're going to need their best for however long they're in the game.
I'm glad you brought up Garcia, because I think he's going to be another one that's going to have to be more instrumental tonight, and not necessarily dropping double figures or anything like that. But I think on the glass is going to be huge, and just being an opposing presence is going to be big to have Garcia stepping in. So let me ask you this, man. Obviously, you mentioned that tonight's game doesn't hinge on the season doesn't hinge on this game by any stretch of the imagination. But Swim, I do believe national belief does, because even as we speak, there's a lot of people out there looking at Nebraska's past rather than their current play, which I think is hogwash, man. As Coach Brown would always say, that's hogwash, AD. I think it's hogwash. You're based on their past, but yet they're showing right in front of you they are 20-0 with 5 quad 1 wins, with a very good possibility. Obviously, games got to be played still, with 6 if they take care of Michigan at home. Tonight is not the season on the hinge. To me, Swim, it's national belief. And it should already be there, first of all, in my opinion. It's not my opinion, it's the facts. If any other team that didn't have the Nebraska on their jersey, in this top 25, you'd be like, oh, I can see that. But because of Nebraska's past, they're based in Nebraska's past rather than the current play. I feel national belief skyrockets if Nebraska goes in and takes care of Michigan tonight in Ann Arbor.
Oh, it does. I mean, essentially, I think Nebraska, like, let's talk about this. AD, I brought this up with Jay yesterday, in that think about where we're usually at when we assess and talk about Nebraska basketball on January 27th of a season. We're talking about, okay, this is what Nebraska needs to do to play their way into this. And most of the time we're talking about play their way into either the Big Ten tournament or play their way into the NCAA tournament or whatever it might be. That's not the case this year. And it's not to say that you're playing with house money and just go out and, but Jay said it yesterday, just go out and play basketball. Like, just go out and do exactly what you've been doing, because obviously it's been successful. I think that Nebraska, so many people are sitting here going, okay, yeah, you know what? They're justifying the loss. They're justifying why it would be okay and why it's acceptable for Nebraska to lose. And is it on paper? Yeah, Michigan's a top 5 team, just the same as you are. You're going into a ruckus environment, and it's going to be full, and it's going to be a great experience for a lot of the fans there. But also understand what opportunity lies in front of you. You have a chance, like you said, AD. I mean, this is a program defining, national relevance defining victory opportunity for you. Because if let's say Nebraska wins tonight and they win at home against Illinois, Monday when the polls come out, we're not talking top 3. We're talking number 2 in the country behind Arizona, who just went on the road and beat BYU by 3 points. Like, that is where we're talking about with Nebraska. You're talking about if Nebraska takes care of business the rest of the way out in a schedule that, yeah, it's tough, but like you look at it and you can say, okay, you get Purdue at home. You don't have to go to East Lansing. You don't have to play Michigan at home again. You've already taken care of both games against Illinois. Your toughest road match left of the season might be either Iowa or UCLA. Like, you look at that and go, okay, you're almost a shoe in for the triple bye. And I don't want to jump ahead before the text line gets all mad at me for jumping ahead. Yes, game by game, but I think it is okay for Nebraska fans, as we enjoy this ride, to get excited for what could potentially be in the future if Nebraska is able to take care of business tonight.
I agree, man. I'll say this for the break, Swim. I want you, and I know you always do a good job of this, but you're literally going to be in the environment with a setting Nebraska has never experienced before.
Yeah.
A top 5 battle between two top 5 teams, number 3, and Nebraska being in the mix. It just still, even as I was flying last night, I was just thinking about this. I'm like, this is just such a twilight zone because it's never happened before. And what I would tell those young men, Swim, remember you're in the backyard, or if you're old like me, you had a Nerf hoop on the back of your bedroom door. And
I remember those.
Shoot jumpers, whether it's in a trash can, in your room or your office, whatever it was. But if you were a kid and you were like, you would count down 3, 2, 1, you fade away. Hey, Scars, they win. The crowd's going wild. This is no longer a fairy tale. This is no longer your imagination. This is no longer something that's, as Nebraska basketball players, but you look at a Rankin and a Jamarcus, you're not watching another team doing this. It's like Pac said, Tupac, all eyes on me. All eyes are going to be on this game. You have a chance to live out a childhood dream to go in a very storied program, the home of the Fab Five and the Wolverines, Michigan, man, whatever superlatives you want to put on it. You got a chance to play in this game. And I would tell those guys, when you come on the court tonight, take a look around. They're here to watch you play. And there's a lot of them sitting here that'll be watching it on TV as well who think you're a fluke. As Coach says, boys play at home, men play on the road. And they got a chance to be some dogs tonight in Ann Arbor. And I am so excited to see this game because they got a chance to move some furniture around up there in Ann Arbor. So I'm pumped to see this. I'm glad that you get a chance to be in that environment. It's going to be unbelievable.
Well, and AD, I mean, think about it this way. These are the other games that are going on tonight. Arkansas travels to Oklahoma. Providence plays UConn. Missouri plays Alabama. Purdue plays Indiana. That Purdue-Indiana game is one of the more heated rivalries in Big Ten history. Kentucky travels to Vanderbilt. And guess what game is at the pinnacle and at the top of it all? Nebraska-Michigan. You are playing in the most notable game in all of college basketball tonight. It's a massive opportunity. And I just think that Nebraska, the moment, I don't know if Husker fans are worried, and they can let us know on the text line, obviously. I don't know if Husker fans are necessarily worried about Nebraska just not showing up or the moment being too big. I'm not there. I don't think that this team will get frazzled. I don't expect them to. And before we go to break, AD, one last part of the Nerf door basketball hoop. Whenever you'd count down, did you ever do it? Where I did this. Did you ever count down where you go, oh, he shoots at the last second, he misses, but somehow they put 0.5 seconds left on the clock, and he shoots again. Oh, he misses. 0.3 still on the clock. It's like, you'd miss and be like, okay, maybe the moment was too big for me.
It's like, how many shots do you get off in 3 seconds?
Oh my gosh. In unprecedented history, Nick is able to shoot the ball 8 times in 2.6 seconds.
He was fouled with .01.
Yeah, we're going to go look at it. We're going to take a look at it.
Oh, those were the good days, man. If you're old, too. So I used to cut the pictures out of the Sports Illustrated magazines and the Husker Illustrated, and I would put the posters, MJ on my wall, and all those things would fade with background. With those in the background with fadeaway jumpers, man.
I don't think people still hang posters on their walls anymore, unfortunately. Like I don't know if we'd walk into if you walk into, I don't know, like if Keenan was 10 years old today, AD, would he be having like posters of Luka Doncic on his wall? Like I just don't know if that's the case for people.
I don't even know where you'd even buy a poster anymore, because you used to be on at the record stores and the sports, stores, but I ain't seen maybe I'm just not looking in the right area, but I haven't seen a poster anywhere.
I remember back in like 2011 or 2012, around that area, Doc Sadler was coaching Nebraska basketball, and they were playing at the Devaney Center still. I went to a Nebraska versus Iowa State game, and I ended up getting asked if I wanted to participate in the game at halftime, where you put on the shorts, put on the jersey, you put on the headband and the shoes, and you got to go make a layup. I ended up winning it, and my prize was an autographed poster by the entire team from that team, and it had it had the games underneath the players and everything, and everybody had signed it. This was pre-NIL and stuff, but I was like, man, this is sweet. I hung it on my closet. I left it there for 2 or 3 years because I was like, this is sweet, man. Like I got Brandon Ubell's signature and Andre Almeida. I'm like, this is awesome. I don't think they do that anymore.
Those were the good old days, man. Those were truly the good old days. Again, Nebraska takes on the Wolverines in Ann Arbor. Swim will be covering it. 6 p.m. Central tip-off, 7 p.m. Eastern time. That'll be on Peacock. So check that out. Folks, when we come back, we're going to dive into the NFL a tad. Before we take it on home with adjustment, it's The Drive, 937 Ticket.
Clear your calendar. It's a volleyball weekend in Omaha. Love Nebraska returns to Baxter Arena for back-to-back home matches on January 30th and February 1st, facing Love Madison and Love Austin. 2 matches, 2 chances to see your hometown team compete as the season heats up. Featuring Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson taking on the likes of Lauren Carlini and Maddie Skinner, and special moments throughout the weekend. This is your opportunity to catch all the action live. Make it one night or both nights. Get your tickets now at lobbneb.com/tickets.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Führer's cheese spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart-Stone. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies with a light north breeze. An afternoon high around 27. Tonight, mainly clear skies and calm winds. Be cold, the low around 9. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds. A little warmer with the high near 33. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, invites you to the Spring Equipment and Technology Clinic, February 3rd through the 5th at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney. New this year, the planter and sprayer clinics are combined into one streamlined, hands-on event built around growers' time and needs. Get expert training on John Deere planters and sprayers on topics including maintenance, technology, and autonomy. Don't miss it, February 3rd through the 5th in Kearney. Visit landmarkimp.com/events for details.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Now back to the drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Right, folks, we are back. Stay tuned because one-on-one with DP. And after him, of course, the Adam Carricker Show will be live from Mulberry Barbecue, 61st and Highway 2, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. today. Mulberry's Barbecue South location for a special reason from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. actually at this location. 50% of all proceeds will go to the Capital Humane Society. They'll be there until 1, but promotion goes until 2. So come by there for great burnt ends, pulled pork, brisket, and all other amazing options they have at Mulberry Barbecue. Again, this is only at the South location at 61st and Highway 2. Get a chance to hang out with DP and AC. I think Jake will be there as well to hang out. So definitely check it out. Mulberry is great barbecue too. Man, just listening to those guys talking about it this morning, Swim, I was like, man, I need some barbecue, but I ate like complete trash in Orlando, so I have to taper back a little bit.
Well, what'd you have in Orlando? I mean, because what's the trash?
It was Well, it was mostly on the airplanes because in Orlando, went to a great steakhouse there at the resort. Man, had a great. It was a Delmonico steak with some fufu, tomato, something on the side with some bacon bits on top and some asparagus. But man, it was on the airplane that I ate bad. Man, I was eating cookies and strudels.
Those biscotti cookies are not bad on the airplanes. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah, they're not. They'll sneak up on you, man. I was like, go ahead. She goes, would you like anything else? I was like, go ahead and give me 3 more of them.
Here's the real question. Do you ask for a can when you get drinks? Do you usually get not alcohol? I don't get alcohol. I very rarely get alcohol on planes. The only time I got alcohol on a plane was when I was going to Canada or I was going to Mexico. But other than that, when you get like sodas or pops or anything like that, do you ask for just a can or do you get just in the small cup?
You know what? They usually ask. And I was like, do you want a can? If it's a longer flight, like from Orlando to Chicago, I got a can. From Houston to Orlando, I just had coffee, so I didn't even have the can. But from Orlando to Chicago last night, I had a can. If it's a short flight, I usually don't get a can, but the longer ones I did last. What about you?
Yeah. I can every time. Can every time. we're paying hundreds of dollars to travel. You can afford to give me the can.
Culligan J says, man, you guys just took me back with the Nerf hoop posters talking about cutting things out of Sports Illustrated and sticking them to the things, man. Culligan J, those were better times, as the three-headed stool says it. Three-legged stool, I should say it in the mornings. Those were definitely better times. David, what a lifestyle AD lives. Man, everybody gets the same thing if they want it. They don't tell you, Dave, you can't have a can. Take the ice cube and shut up.
Yeah. You tell me, AD.
Yeah, I was flying like everybody else.
Yeah. He was only in the economy plus. He wasn't in the economy. He wasn't in first class.
Folks, there was an interesting hire, I will say. Interesting, but I do like the hire. Former Miami coach Mike McDaniels goes to be the OC for Coach Harbaugh there I always want to say San Diego, it's not, but for the Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers. Swim, what's your initial thoughts on that, man?
I think it's actually a decent fit. I understand why Mike McDaniel kind of decided to pull out of some of the head coach conversations that he was potentially in. We know that he never actually interviewed for the Buffalo Bills job. They never actually concluded the interview with Mike McDaniel for the Buffalo Bills job. Maybe Jay Foreman called in and called him and said, hey, maybe we got to rethink this. But then he pulls out from the Cleveland head coaching potential there. And I think it's a really good fit for him because number one, you have your quarterback. You have your quarterback. You have a guy in Omarion Hampton who's going to be coming back from an injury, who's still a younger guy in that backfield. You have some playmakers on the perimeter that you can work with. They've invested in their offensive line with guys like Rashawn Slater from Northwestern and things like that. So you look at that offense, and if for a guy that's going to be trying to rejuvenize his coaching career, his head coaching resume, LA is a really, really intriguing place. You look at just what Harbaugh and the Chargers have been able to do. They're right up in there in the thick of it, I think, for the AFC West next year.
You think about why this hire matters, though. First of all, McDaniel, he just wasn't available, man. He interviewed for head coaching jobs both Cleveland, Buffalo, Las Vegas, and Cleveland. They can't get anybody to fly into Cleveland and interview for that dadgum job. But Cleveland, Buffalo, and the Vegas Raiders, Tampa Bay and Philadelphia both aggressively pursued him as an OC. And the Chargers win that sweepstake because you look at why the fit with Jim Harbaugh is so big because, Harbaugh fired their former OC in Greg Roman. They lost 16-3, of course, in the playoffs. But this stat here, when I seen this morning, Swim, in 2 playoff appearances under Roman, the Chargers scored 1 total offensive touchdown. 1. And with as many weapons, I'm not saying they're just like deep, but they have enough weapons to score more than 1 offensive touchdown. So McDaniel obviously didn't work out personally. I don't think that all fell on him, but when you're the head coach, it's going to fall on you, as well as they got rid of their GM head coach as well there in Miami, and they're retooling as well. But I think McDaniel, this is a great fit. I love the dude's offensive mind. People talk about the kind of the pants he wears, not the khaki pants. That's hard, Jim.
Yeah.
what do you call those pants?
Yeah, the khakis.
The khakis. But I'm talking about McDaniel. What are they called?
Joggers.
Capris. Yeah, the capri. There you go.
Yeah.
The capri pants. I don't care what you're wearing, as long as you win it and can call a good game. You know that's irrelevant. But it shows every little thing is magnified when you do lose. I think about, you bring it to the college ranks real quick. You think about Coach DeBoer, Kalen DeBoer in Alabama when he was lost in games last year, not this recent year, but in 2024. Oh, what's he out there wearing a T-shirt for on the sideline? If you're winning, they don't care if you're wearing a tank top. Yeah. So it shows you how a lot of things get magnified when you're losing. Some of them are relevant, some of them are not. But I really think this is a good fit for the Los Angeles Chargers, if you would. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see. McDaniel's offensive reputation. There's a lot of pre-snap motion and window dressing, condensed formation. He likes to create matchup nightmares. So it'll be a good fit. Two very different personalities as far as that goes. Very different. But I like the matchup, man. I like the matchup.
It's really intriguing. A little bit of breaking news. I just got a notification from ESPN that the Buffalo Bills are expected to hire Joe Brady. So they are staying internal. And, okay, I guess also David texted us and let us know. But the Buffalo Bills are expected to hire Joe Brady. And so they're going internal, and they interviewed obviously a lot of candidates. The Buffalo Bills did. Joe Brady was floated around some college jobs, was floated around some other NFL jobs. There were rumors that maybe new head coach for the Baltimore Ravens, Jesse Minter, might try to hire Joe Brady away as the Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator. But yet here he is. He's going to get a head coaching job, and it appears that Joe Brady, the former LSU offensive coordinator when Bill Bush was there at LSU of that 2019 team with Joe Burrow and such, he's going to be the new head coach of the Buffalo Bills.
You know what? I like the hire. Was surprised a little bit. I didn't think they'd go internally. Me personally, I didn't think they'd go internally with it. I thought maybe Sean McDermott and a lot of his cohorts would be gone, but nevertheless, and here's the reality, Swim. Buffalo has been right there for the past 6-7 years. You know, it's not like they were getting the brakes beat off them. They've been right there. It's going to be interesting to see what they do on their roster. They're obviously, Josh is not going anywhere, but there's a lot of piece around him, in particular on the offensive side, what's going to be done with Buffalo. But yeah, man, I like the hire, man. I like the hire. I like it. Well, folks, we got the 80 attitude adjustment coming up. Kind of a quick kind of a big review. We talked about Nebraska, of course. They take on number 3 Michigan up in Ann Arbor, where Swim is at. He'll be covering that up there as well. Nick, as far as post-game show, who's on the mic for that tonight?
So it'll be, I'm sure Austin Harrison will be involved, and then I'll be joining after I get out of the post-game conversation with Fred Hoiberg, hopefully after a Nebraska win.
Love it. Love it. Folks, when we come back, be the attitude adjustment and the closing. Stick with us. It's The Drive.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, invites you to the Spring Equipment and Technology Clinic February 3rd through the 5th at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney. New this year, the planter and sprayer clinics are combined into one streamlined, hands-on event built around growers' time and needs. Get expert training on John Deere planters and sprayers on topics including maintenance, technology, and autonomy. Don't miss it. February 3rd through the 5th in Kearney. Visit landmarkimp.com/events for details.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new Delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
If you're tired of the dieting circuit paradox but still want to look, feel, and perform better, you need to get to Nutrition Authority and ask about our nutrition coaching featuring LifeBase. LifeBase takes the complex world of nutrition and makes it simple with real results that last. Stop in to learn more or check us out on mynutritionauthority.com.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Folks, we are back. Thanks for riding with us this morning. Again, the main story, of course, folks, is Nebraska versus Michigan. We'll talk ladies basketball tomorrow as well. But today, it is the men up in Ann Arbor. Kind of the matchup outlook, Michigan is they're disciplined, they're balanced, and they are very comfortable playing multiple options. They have shown that. The thing about Nebraska, I don't see them out muscling Michigan, but they don't need to, as far as that goes. But this matchup, and I feel may actually suit Nebraska better than last year, simply because of the senior leadership and because the personnel, i.e. Mr. Sanford is out there, the sharpshooter. Obviously, Frager, we don't know what that's going to look like yet, but regardless, if I'm the players on that squad, I'm playing as if he was not going to play and just have that mentality. Swim, what's your prediction for tonight, my man?
Oh, man, I want to so badly pick Nebraska to stay undefeated. I think it's going to be closer than the 10.5 or 11.5, whatever Vegas is projecting that happens in Ann Arbor tonight. I think Nebraska is going to get beat up on the boards. And this is just a matter of whether or not I want to go with my heart or I want to go with my head. I actually think Nebraska will come out and end up beating Michigan tonight. I do. I think that Nebraska is going to shoot well from beyond the 3-point line. I think Nebraska's defense and their calm will travel to Ann Arbor. And then I think we see Rink Mass get back to big game Rink Mass that we see from him often. Whether that is down low in the paint, whether that is maybe on some more pick and pop opportunities. I'm going to say that it's a narrow Nebraska win, and Nebraska continues to assert themselves in the Big Ten standings.
I like it. Why, man? What's your pick?
I mean, if Nebraska wins, they're going to have to shoot well. That's what Wisconsin did. Made 15 threes, shot 45% from the three-point line the one time the Wolverines lost this year. It's going to be tough. I think tough environment. Nebraska's passed so many tests, continue to get wins. I'm going to pick Michigan by 8. I think it's going to be a close loss, which your season's not defined January 27th, 2026. There's still another month of season, Illinois on Sunday, but it's hard to go undefeated in college basketball. It's hard, and one loss will not define your season.
I am going to go with the Huskers in a close one. I think Nebraska sneaks this one out by 3. I really do. I think they sneak this out by 3, like I was sharing with Austin during the break and Nick as well. Nebraska has heard fraudulent all year, but they've not worn it like a scarlet letter, though, to where it gets distracting. I think Nebraska just played with a lot of poise with, in the back of their mind, realizing that this is not this year's team, at least, is not Nebraska basketball from past. And they've got it, like I said, the tables are set for tonight. The key are going to be, like you mentioned, Swim, it's going to be physicality on the glass. Nebraska can't allow Michigan to kill them on the boards. And if that happens, it's going to be a long game for Ann Arbor. So Nebraska's got to play physical. They're going to have to put butts on other butts. And Nick, as you mentioned, Garcia, that's where I feel he's going to have to play a huge role tonight on the glass. And if you add scoring in, that's ice cream with your cake. But he's definitely got to help on the glass. You're going to have to put bodies on bodies because this team is athletic as far as that goes. Folks, for the 80 attitude adjustment, you get one body. And it's ironic that that we had the text that came in regarding the PSA numbers, because I've been just going over this, just researching this a lot. Your heart beats 100,000 times per day, pumps 2,000 plus gallons of blood daily. Blood vessels stretch 60,000 miles end to end. 60,000. Red blood cells deliver oxygen, remove waste, regulate our pH, fight infection. Now check this out. The system never sleeps, not once. Folks, with something that was created so awesome, 20,000 breaths per day, oxygen enters the lungs, bloodstream, every cell, carbon dioxide is removed simultaneously. You don't decide to breathe while asleep, yet you do. I can go on and on. Something that was created and something that moves and operates with so much efficiency. 60,000 miles of blood vessels stretched throughout your body. Go to your doctor and make sure it's running good. Go to your doctor for the checkup. Don't wait until something breaks down, because usually it's a lack of maintenance rather than a lack of functionality. Get into your doctors. I can't stress it enough. Folks, we get one body. That's it. One body, take care of it. No one likes going to the, I hear people say, I don't like going to the doctor. Neither do I. And I never see anybody say, man, I can't wait to go to the doctor. No. But it's well worth it. Swim, any last parting words, my man?
No, appreciate once again, want to shout out our friends at the Lincoln Airport for getting us out here. It was so convenient. Don't forget our official travel partner of all the remaining Nebraska basketball road games, as they will be adding nonstop flights to Dallas, Chicago, and Phoenix through American Airlines here in the next couple of months. Make sure you use that Fly LNK when you can, and also our really good friends at Diode Technologies for sponsoring the coverage from all of the remaining Nebraska basketball road games. It's going to be a great time following Nebraska basketball on this historic run.
I love it. View the text lines. Unknown texter has Michigan 74, Nebraska 71. Thomas and Lincoln, Nebraska loses by 5. Unknown texter 1000. Look for guys wearing sunglasses. Might be suspicious, Nick. Suspicious.
Yeah, right. No Connor Stallions in Chrysler Center.
Folks, thanks for riding with us again. Stick with One-on-One with DP. It's going to be live from Mulberry Barbecue at 61st and Highway 2. Following One-on-One, Adam Carraker Show. Follow that, folks. So stay tuned. The 937 Ticket. This is The Drive. We'll talk to you tomorrow.